And we'll have all of the alphas over here and all of the omegas over here.
Okay. I was hoping there would be some kind of collaborative, because I've never done it.
You get to decide which team you would like to compete on. Okay.
I think you guys kind of have a big problem going on.
Jesse, to anybody off the street, they would think that you did it.
Literally, like, my heart, like, sunk.
The winning team is Team Alpha.
I'm feeling good, I think. I'm not sure.
In order to determine who will be eliminated, you will be competing in another challenge tomorrow morning.
It's like moving across a checkerboard. Your life is like, you know, depending on which choices you make.
And the person who will be eliminated from the show is Tanya Johnston. We're sorry, Tanya. Congratulations, artists, on making it to another day in this competition.
I was not feeling super confident after the critique, but I really did like my painting, and I was very happy that I wasn't eliminated.
So, at some point in her life, every artist must decide whether or not she will accept the call and pursue her passion. All of you are here today for some reason or another because Ellie also answered that call. Not only did she answer that call to become a professional artist, but she also answered that call to teach. And so Ellie has a few words for you guys now to inspire you for your next challenge.
I think it's really important for every artist, whether a professional or just somebody who's just getting started, but has decided that art is their passion and their destiny, to really understand their why. Why are they doing it? For what purpose? And I remember midway through my career, even though I'd already made the decision and I already knew this was my destiny and I was fully living it as a professional artist, I had a huge setback, call it a threshold, where I was really tested and I really had to dig into my why and why I was an artist. And I participated in this show in New York, and it was a big disappointment, not nearly enough artwork sold. I had invested a ton of money and it was starting to look like I wasn't gonna make it through and I'd have to go find a job or change course in some way. And it was probably one of the sharpest times of my life where I was tested. And what got me through at that moment when I had nearly given up is to understand my why and to really, really know why I was doing it. And for me, it came back to my start, which is after I had just done a few paintings, and it was my first major painting I'd ever done, and I was a teenager. I decided to give it to my dad, and I saw that it made him cry. And he's this Greek macho man that believed that real men don't cry. And I saw him as he looked at my painting, tears streaming down his face, and he was crying. And it was the first time I understood and realized how powerful art is and how deeply it can affect somebody. And I knew that was my why.
I tried many things. I was a flight attendant for a while as well. I did several studies. I was always like in search for something because I never found like my true passion.
And I'm really good in my job by now. I'm one of the best. And they believe in me. I don't believe there is a purpose on it.
The grocery store was fun, and I really thought like I would spend all my life there, honestly. But I'm glad I quit, and I'm glad I took the risk.
I always remember why I'm here, why I got to that point. It gives me what I need to push through. And knowing that this is my destiny, this is why I'm put on this earth. Eventually you get to the point where those setbacks just become sport. And you're like, no, you know, we've done this before, and I know how to get through this.
I'm a little nervous about this challenge. This challenge reminds me a little bit of the overnight challenge, just because the ideas behind that was sort of a precursor to what I'm thinking about when I think about my why.
Just tap into your why, refresh yourself on your why, and why are you an artist as you cross through that threshold into this challenge.
So today we will be going through the beautiful island of Spetses, walking around on an adventure, and you'll be taking note of the architecture that surrounds you.
I don't ever paint architecture.
Your challenge is to use architecture that you see as inspiration to paint what lies beyond the threshold. We're here at the beautiful Church of St. Nicholas. There's tons of inspiration for the artists to find. Let's see what they discover.
I'm actually kind of excited to work architecture in because I've been wanting to do something more abstract focused. So I think I'm going to do more abstraction with a little bit of architecture and focusing on like my why. And that is like freedom to express who you are, and then also like empowering other people to do the same thing, like to do the crazy thing that's inside them.
It's definitely making me go deep again, and my why is a lot about things that happened to me, so many things that I buried inside, and just to protect myself, I guess.
It's been just a little emotional for me because it's been a while for the last time that I was in the church.
I really love architecture. I used to work at an architecture firm. I'm a huge fan of like the different composition styles and like the different perspectives that architecture can take.
I am inspired by the architectural as far as, not so much as far as like buildings, but more of the foundations and the cracks that are in the buildings. So I took lots of pictures of a bunch of different cracks and paint peeling and rocks and things that I'm gonna include in my source.
I feel like I see different things than other people see, and that I want to show it to them, and that I want to just make it so they can actually see what I see.
All right, everyone, we are here in this beautiful scenery, full of inspiration all around you. The energy is amazing. You're all ready for this. Well, I guess I should ask you, are you ready for this? Yeah. That's what I thought. You guys are amazing artists. You're about to create some beautiful artwork, and let's get to it. So your challenge begins in 3, 2, 1, go.
I loved him since my 14, and we always fight. And I thought that if we go to the church, we get married in St. Nicholas, that we went today. And I thought that the God was going to help us. The God will see that there is love here, and they help us to stay together. And when it doesn't happen, maybe God has other plans for me. Maybe God has art for me. And maybe it's all that I need.
It was always like, you need to look right, act right. You need to care what everybody else thinks except yourself, what everybody else needs except for you. And that really was like so painful. It caused a lot of anxiety and stress socially, and then depression. I got through it through, like, I ended up being a drug addict, and I really like drugs because it got me out of that mindset. It was like, finally, I just didn't care what people thought, and I could just be myself. But then it turned on me, you know, slowly ruining my life. But I'm so thankful that my life came to nothing, because then I started looking for help, looking to God, and that is how I overcame all the other issues that I didn't know how to get out of, you know?
My dad was in the Army, so moved around pretty much all the time, like 4 different elementary schools, different middle schools, 3 different high schools. When I went to a different school, like my only focus was to like make friends. My only focus was to get like people to like me, versus like I wasn't really focusing on any underlying skills that like I wanted to explore. Like I wanted to explore art, and I didn't at all because I was so focused on getting people to like me.
You know what, she was always so friendly. She just, everywhere she went, every time we moved someplace, she would find a new friend. And even when we just go to the park for a day, she'd be like, I need to find a friend.
As a woman who's struggled with healing and grieving a past abortion, I had an abortion when I was 18 years old. I find myself a lot of times trying to figure out why I made that decision. I've been working in a pregnancy center for a couple of years now, and I found that there have been a lot of women who have really struggled with the decision, and I want to find out, like, what is the root cause for this? And I think that a lot of times it has to do with not feeling comfortable talking about it. I want to be able to open that box to really give women the freedom to tell their stories, give women the freedom to grieve, because that's really, I struggled with that for roughly 20 years.
I think this one really is near to my heart because it's about overcoming several things in your life. I cannot let go of something that my blueprint is about caring what other people think of me. So I'm trying to evolve, of course, and letting it go and being more focused on myself. But if that's your blueprint, you cannot just let it go in 5 or 4 days when you're competing with other persons. That's not how it works, I guess. For me, it doesn't work that way. It's slowly, it will fade away, I hope, in my life, but it's something that I will have to deal with all my life. That's my life team, I guess.
My father was super proud to have all his kids in the family business, and then I decided that I wanted to go for my dreams and become an artist. I think I always felt that way, like my whole life in this family. I love them very much, and I know they love me, but I always felt different, like as they always say, sometimes the stork got turbulence and then you fall out of the baskets in another place, and this is your family and you have to deal with it.
My dad died when I was 2. So I have only my mom. She's my best friend, I think, in a way. I think she had to sacrifice a lot when we were young, so I admired her for that. I know she probably had dreams and some things like that, but the plane changed, so I admire her for that. Her strong character and
I had a lovely family. We lived at the countryside. I had some sisters I used to fight with, so I think it's like a pretty normal life. My dad's pretty creative. He likes to make things, especially with steel. My mom's like the opposite. She's always focused on numbers and things. It's not like they were pushing me to be an artist, definitely not. They were more like, okay, you need to go to college, you need to study something so you can get like a normal job and just make your money, that kind of way. It was a big step for me to actually be an artist and see if I could do it. It was really, it took some gut to get out of that zone and just do my own thing, yeah.
My why is bringing light into the world through my art, bringing healing. And my childhood was a very difficult one. I grew up we did volunteer work. So each time there was some kind of natural disaster or a war or, just anything where there was devastation, we would go. And right after, or even during. And so I saw a lot of suffering, a lot of darkness, a lot of pain. I had, I think, the darkest time in my life after my dad left, and I was kidnapped and raped and abused by somebody that I trusted again and again. And it was, I think, the darkest time of my entire life. I had to open the portal of my heart again to be able to feel again and to bring healing to myself, and through that bring also healing to others through my art and things that I had experienced, and just bring light where there was so much darkness and pain. So yeah, that's my why.
There was one point, my uncle, he took his life, and seeing what that put my family through was difficult, and made me get a different outlook on life, as far as like it's so precious and it's such a gift that I don't want to waste a moment of it.
Okay, artists, we are exactly halfway through this challenge, and we have a special surprise for you. Dimitra is here to critique your paintings. Continue as you are. She'll be coming up. This is not going to be paused. You will have to continue painting during the critique, or, take a break, but the time will keep running. Enjoy, and I hope you find it useful.
I think it's looking beautiful. Katrina, I like how this feels something that's very different for you. And like color-wise, I like your color scheme. My only concern right now is a little bit with the proportions in the hand. This hand seems maybe too wide. Is this your source?
Yeah.
You can see that in the source, but it just looks a little bit funny. But maybe if you add something here, we don't notice it.
Okay.
Like maybe if there was a flower.
Yeah, I was thinking of maybe a vine and a leaf or something.
Yeah.
And just go over that.
But it's beautiful.
It's going around anyway.
Okay.
Thank you. My art is about connecting that portal, connecting heaven and earth, where there's so much pain and suffering, bringing light through that portal and connection.
How's it going?
A little slow, but I'm happy.
I love your piece. This seems a little crooked to me though. Like it's kind of leaning this way. Just slightly.
Like, so to do it like...
These angles are like this. So it just feels a little bit off. So if it was just straighter, I think, like that's straight up there.
Oh, I see here, I think, huh?
Slightly concerned that you don't have too much paint down if this is the halfway point. So I would just try to get more paint.
It's all about love, magic, and art. And I'm feeling that I just need to live an artistic, meaningful life. And I have in my mind that I want to express it through a painting.
I really love your composition and everything. Your source looks really cool. I just am hoping as you finish this, you won't have so much blank space here. I think it needs a lot more form.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Yeah, I'm making a self-portrait, so it's also very hard to, because it's me, to get everything in there, because I see myself a little bit different. Do you have any feedback on the body?
I love the body. I think that's my favorite part so far. I'm just wondering if you're going to maybe darken this and add this. Okay.
Yeah, because now it's a little bit plainer.
Yeah, I think it needs some strong details.
Yeah, and this is an abstract from a city over here.
Okay, very cool.
Thanks. I needed that.
It's really beautiful. I think you're in such a great spot at the halfway point. It looks like you have your whole painting solved. I am wondering though, where is the architecture influence in this?
Yeah, that is actually coming a little bit later. It's going to be a little bit more of a overlay, if you will.
Oh,
So I decided to kind of like get all of this complicated stuff that I wasn't sure how I was going to do in first. But yes, that is coming.
Okay, cool. I'm excited to see it.
Me too. I believe that we're specifically crafted and fashioned to help make other people all that they're intended to be.
I love how this really feels like your style, and I can see the Greek architecture and like the evil eyes and all that. It's really cool how it's all flowing together. And your city reminds me of Greek architecture, especially these little round pieces in there. So,
Yeah, the only thing I'm wondering about is
that corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of dark.
Yeah.
But I think you got it. Yeah. Yeah, I love that. That's really cool. And I like the Greek you have in here.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm always feeling like I'm gonna be okay, but I'm always freaking out, even though at the beginning, I don't know why. Probably because of the pressure here and the people around me looking at their thing, and I shouldn't do that, but I do it anyway. And but once I start my painting and once I'm in the flow, I'm okay, but it's just starting it that it's hard for me.
Okay, hi. It's really beautiful. I would just say I would like to see some more neutrals in there, but maybe you're getting to that because I see there's tan, grays, whites.
Yes, I feel like I kind of start really busy and then I figure out where I'm gonna just get rid of a lot of things. So
the feeling I'm getting in your painting though is that she's thinking about going through a threshold but not sure about it. And she's like not actually through it yet. That's the feeling I'm getting from it, just from her expression and the way she's like out. It's like this will take her to the city, but she's outside of it.
yeah, I see that for sure. So I wonder how I don't know how I could fix that.
You're gonna have to get creative.
I know.
Maybe it's something in her expression.
Yeah, I have to change the expression a little bit. When I got clean, I ended up studying to be a counselor and getting healing for myself, doing a little bit of counseling, and then coming back to what I truly love, which is art. That's what fulfills me the most. That's what makes me come alive and be excited, and feels like my destiny and my dreams and passion and fire just all came out when I do art.
I love your painting, Melissa. This feels like something new for you. And I really love how this is glowing. And I know that's just kind of like the underpainting part, and you probably will refine the owl more. But I love how this is really thin and washy. So I think just try not to cover up too much of your underpainting, but also have a lot more refinement too.
Yeah.
I love how you interpreted the whole threshold thing really abstractly, and I just really feel that it has already like passed through.
Okay.
Maybe if you did some of your abstract palette knife stuff in the background, I think I would like to see some thick paint with the thin paint.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I feel like I want to make the wings move a little bit more. So I was also thinking about like, or palette knife.
Oh, making this blurry, like blurry
something
movement.
like this,
I
yeah,
like that a lot.
exactly.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay, thank you. I think it's mostly about creating with your hands and the beauty that you can make. Like, it's not something that you just make because it's easy, or you are really like putting an effort in it, creating something that's like uplifting or maybe to next level. And that's what I'm like really drawn to.
Your piece is beautiful. I love the colors. I love just the whole feeling of it. I am a little bit worried about proportions in her face, and her chin seems too harsh, maybe. So I would just I would work on softening a lot of her face and maybe just adding a lot more highlights.
Yeah.
That's really just the main thing for me.
Okay, and what do you think about the proportions where it's like all?
Maybe I think for me it was just the chin. Maybe I thought it was proportions, but maybe it's right here. Like this seems too angular. So if it was all softened, I don't think it would bother me at all.
It's my weak spot, but this part.
Yeah, okay. Interesting.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Good job.
Before I found the mastery program, Milan Art, I wanted to be an artist, but I thought it's just not possible for me. I'm not artistic enough. I don't come from a family of artists, so yeah, it was like, that's just not an option. You can do it. In the mastery program, I gained confidence. And when I created my first painting, I was like, oh wow, I'm good at this.
Wow, Bree, this is really cool. Is this you? Yeah. Wow, that's really amazing.
I'm a little behind. I think I'm gonna have to do something a little more abstract for the hand here, but I know I haven't gotten into too much details. But the inspiration I got from the architecture is I actually took a lot of close-ups of cracks and paint like peeling off of the buildings. And for me, it's like breaking the threshold of like old you into new you and just shining your light.
Your threshold is definitely more symbolic. Yeah. I think if you pull this off, it's going to be a really outstanding painting. So just try to paint faster, I guess.
Yeah, paint faster. Okay.
But there's nothing I really see here other than this hand. But if you kind of abstract that, this hand is done really well. Yeah. But if you abstract right here, it'll work.
Okay. And as far as abstract, do you think a little more palette knife and maybe like a couple like drips or something maybe?
Maybe, but I think if you just dry brush the light over it, that would help. That would fix it.
Okay. All right, great.
Thank you. Because this, like, if that's your pinky, it feels way too big.
Too big, yeah. All right, so I have to like shrink that. Okay, thank you. I see it as a way it's like you're kind of coming through the old things and into the new more so. That's kind of how I perceive like through that threshold and just breaking away those old foundations to just birth that new thing that's ahead.
I don't think you're that behind, Anna. I think, and it seems like the pattern with you is that as you get close to finishing or the time's running out, you really make the biggest changes. So I wouldn't be too worried, but just, stay focused. I think you have a really beautiful piece and you have a really good source. I definitely feel the threshold, and she's almost thinking about going through it is kind of what I'm feeling. Like she's looking at it and it's like where she's going.
Yeah, you nailed it. That was definitely like my thought with that, for sure.
I love all the blue. Maybe
I was like struggling with my color story a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say is I would focus on less purple and more maybe neutrals. Like
more neutrals, okay.
Maybe some, I don't know, think about what would go good with blues.
Definitely struggling with like the color, and I feel like I've been doing so much like purple, and so I definitely want to like focus on doing a different color this time around, so.
Yeah, it seems like the left side of your painting is really working.
Okay.
This is not working, it's just, it's very purple.
Very purple, okay. I will neutral it out. That's a great advice. Okay. Coming on this trip, I've been really like just pushing to be honest and to be more vulnerable and kind of like let down my guard. And I think I've done a pretty good job. And I'm gonna keep trying. It's hard. It's like, I don't know. I didn't realize how much my walls were up.
The time that I was feeling that it's not going anywhere, I learned about mastery program. And it was the moment that I found a purpose in my life, in myself, and to have hope and to believe in the future.
I never wanted to be vulnerable. I always wanted to be strong, had to be strong, because the moment I was vulnerable, I felt I would break. It was very, very difficult for me to change my mindset because the only way for me to get the message out through my art is showing what I have inside.
All right, everyone, you have 15 minutes remaining. You all know what the stakes are. Every single challenge is a reset. Anyone can win it. Doesn't matter if you're in the bottom throughout the entire show. You can still pull through and win in the end. Likewise, it doesn't matter if you're consistently at the top. All it takes is one painting to fall.
Pleasure. Do what you love, be a light for all to see.
You cannot create healing art without being vulnerable first.
I guess I don't care what other people think, because that was something I had to overcome, like huge in my life. So I have to still remind myself.
I like getting out of your comfort zone and challenges that you normally won't give yourself if you're in the studio. You're gonna paint everything that sells or everything that you find beautiful, but not, okay, paint something by inspiration of Greece architecture. Of course, that's not gonna happen in my own studio. So that I really love about the competition.
My motto in my art is be free, be you.
At the risk of it sounding just a little bit cheesy, but it's really packed with meaning, would be you're here on purpose for a purpose.
Pioneer your vision is one of my life mottos, that you really have to go for it. Like, if that's what you feel like you need to be doing, then go for it and don't just wait for it or let someone hand it to you.
Sometimes it all falls at like the right place, and then it's the moment. I don't want to be like old and think I could have go for that dream and I didn't do it.
I get stuck in my head. Like, I can overthink way too much, and I can definitely be hyper-focused as to kind of like what's going on around me versus like just being able to focus on actually what's going on right in front of me. So it can be positive and negative.
All right, everyone, you have 1 minute remaining in this challenge. It's time to get those last brushstrokes in. You know the drill. This isn't your first time. It's not your first rodeo. Your final details could make all the difference. The question is different good? Or is it bad? Tanya, you're done? Seems like you finished early a lot.
I did 2 challenges and in the end with no source, so I don't know. I'm kind of winging it always, and I'm lucky. I feel lucky because it could really turn bad at some point, but yeah.
Well, you haven't been eliminated yet, so. Yet. I'm just kidding. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Brushes down. Amazing job, everyone.
I don't know. No, leave it with that. I don't know.
Well, congratulations, everyone, on finishing your 4th challenge. And now we have a special word for you from Father Gregory, the priest of Agios St. Nicholas. Father Gregory.
Καλώς ήρθατε στις Πέτσες.
We welcome you all on this beautiful island.
Χαιρόμαστε που είναι εδώ τα κορίτσια από αυτό το show, το reality.
We are really glad that you are here and that we host you, especially from a not show, a reality show, which has a lot to do with the women power.
Και τους περιμένουμε στο νησί μας.
And we will be glad to host you again as friends. You have friends in Spetses, so you can come back whenever you want.
Ευχαριστούμε.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Probably like the worst painting I've ever done. I feel super defeated.
Wow. Wow. Some good stuff in here. I feel like that really has impact. You
Emotionally?
know, yeah, and when you see it from a distance, it's like no mistaking, you know, what it is.
It went pretty good. I did get a little bit behind in the beginning. I was working on my sketch and I kept messing up the proportion of my hand. Like, I think it was 3 or 4 times. So I think I lost about 40 minutes of painting time, but I really wanted to get my proportions right, especially after the first challenge that we did where I got my proportions all messed up. So I didn't want to make the same mistake twice.
I feel that way about Katrina's piece.
Yeah,
I think
for sure.
You definitely feel like you're stepping through something and there's transformation happening for sure.
I was putting my source together. For some reason, I'm like painting a head tilted up. That's like a really hard position. Putting a hand in there, using a color palette I hardly ever use, and painting flowers and architecture, which is like stuff I never usually paint. When I was looking at, you know, my source, I'm like, do I really want to get kicked out today?
Another one that really stands out to me is Sabrina's. I think that's really powerful.
I was a little bit stressed going into it because I kept changing my source. I probably have about 15 iterations of it. I'm feeling really good about my painting though. My painting came together very quickly considering, it probably came together more quickly than my source now that I think about it.
I wish the face was a little more rendered. It kind of looks almost like a mask or something. But other than that, I think it's gorgeous.
I'm pretty tired. I took a mini nap over on the side waiting for the interview.
I like Melissa's a lot with how the wing is very effortless, and I love the yellow and the thin and the marks and all that in there. I wish the structures and the windows and the doors were like straighter, especially the yellow one.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm mostly tired, but I'm pretty happy about the end result and how the time flew by. Like when I look at the clock, it was like, what time is it? Yeah, I was just kind of surprised by how fast everything went.
I think Ava's is really cool too.
I feel just a little stressed. I don't feel safe. And my painting needs refinement.
And Tanya's is like very interesting. It's really different than all the others. I mean, somewhat similar to Jesse's. I mean, in that it's a lot of like city and abstract.
I had a lot of fun with my painting, and I just, I kind of, like the other challenge, I went super free with it at the end, and that just makes me feel super good about it.
It has the feeling of Greece, and the open spaces, they really work in there. And the graffiti is what you may see here.
I got super nervous in the middle because Dimitra said it doesn't really look like she's pushed through the threshold, that she's just thinking about going through. And I was like, oh, crap. Because that wasn't something I could change, but then I really thought about it, and it was almost like I had to decide to go through the threshold myself.
I feel like this is a very even challenge. Everyone really looks pretty even. I would just say there's 2 pieces to me that kind of stand out as, you know, being at the bottom. So I think it's Tirana's and Anna's.
Today, I just felt super lost, and like there were just so many things happening, and I like spilled my solvent, and my painting fell, and like I just had paint everywhere, and like I don't know what was happening. I was just super disorganized. I don't know why, I just couldn't get it.
I think Anna's is really dark, and it seems like it's kind of a pattern for her, and I just wish she added a lot more highlights to it.
For me now, the goal is getting to every challenge. Yeah, of course I want to be in the finals, you know that. But getting through every challenge now is the goal.
I feel like Nicolette's could have used more highlights, especially in the hair. Maybe she went into oil too quickly and couldn't get some strong highlights.
I think I'm doing better every challenge, and yeah, okay, I think it's good enough.
And she incorporated the church, which is interesting.
It's definitely hard to judge, for sure. And I would say each painting here is sellable, unique. Someone would definitely want to have this in their home. So
yeah, and
it's
incredible
very hard.
that they did it outside on a pochade box in 3 to 4 hours. You know, really good.
I feel a little bit, tired and anxious about it. In 4 hours, creating a stunning piece, to create something that the judges will like.
They're beautiful. They all do stand out on their own, unique in each way.
It was also harsh. They were outside.
The conditions may have
There
been...
was bugs.
Wind.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw Anna lose her painting, almost knock the turpentine into everything. And she simultaneously caught her painting and the turpentine at the same time before anything spilled or her painting went on the ground.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I probably would need more time. But it kind of got away from me from the very beginning.
All right, so let's go make our final decisions.
All right, artists, come on in. After what seemed to be an intense, emotional, and all-around taxing challenge, unfortunately, once again, someone must go tonight. And here the judges are to tell you a little bit about their decision.
I think you guys all rose to the challenge. I know the subject matter is not easy because we have to face some unpleasant things about our past or ourselves, sort of revisit those thresholds that have been so challenging in our life. That's not easy. But what I love about the story of an artist and the heart of an artist is her courage and her willingness to face those things and paint what's on the other side. And paint on the other side of your pain, paint on the other side of your mistakes or, the things that you wish didn't happen in your life. And that's, really what you guys had to do. And I think you created some really cool work. Some of it is truly outstanding.
I personally love seeing how each of you interpreted this challenge, and I think you were all very creative, totally understood what we were expecting, and you all did this in your own style, and it was very hard for us to come to the decision.
I think you all really used your time wisely and made super cool paintings in the surroundings that you had. With each of these challenges, there is so many different ways to interpret the assignment, and I really am proud of you all for what you did.
And with that being said, it is time to find out who will be eliminated from the Outstanding Artist. Sabrina, Bree, Katrina, please step forward. Congratulations, the three of you placed in the top 3 in this challenge.
Thank you.
And an extra special congratulations to Sabrina for winning this challenge.
I have considered what it would look like and what it would feel like to be in the finals. I'd say for the first time today, there's a shot at this, and I'm gonna give it everything I got.
The three of you are safe. And next, we have Melissa, Ava, and Jesse. Please step forward.
I need to inform you about something. I had a very bad dream last night, and I wake up just 30 minutes earlier.
and I was thinking that I'm gonna be the one that it's gonna be eliminated today. So I was thinking, took my sketchbook and make like 10 sketches of what I'm going to draw today. And I put some marks on my canvas, and I believe that I must be the one that is going to eliminate today.
So before the contest started, you put marks on your canvas that would help you draw it?
That helps me. I just took it in my hands for 15 minutes and see where the figure goes. And I put some with my pencil marks that would help me to sketch faster my painting.
Should we
talk
about it, or?
I think it's pretty clear what has to happen.
I mean, it's not fair.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Ava. It's
I know. That's
it's not fair.
But I respect you that you came forward and said something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We admire your courage to step up and tell everyone. But with that being said, it's time for you to go.
I know. That's fair. Wow. I don't know. It was just a silly morning decision, you know. I thought that if I studied just a little more the canvas with the figure and had just resolve in my mind where the figure would lay exactly, I would stay in the competition. The story of my life. I don't know why. I just do harm to myself. I don't know why.
Well, that was quite the twist, I think, for everyone. So I guess congratulations, everyone. You made it on to the next round, and no one else will be eliminated. So just to reinstate the rules, I know it was mentioned before, all of you understood it. Ava understood it as well, but to make it crystal clear, no one is allowed to draw on their canvas in the slightest before the challenge begins, okay? That is why Ava has eliminated herself, so you guys understand going forward. Well, on another note, congratulations everyone for making it to the next round. You can give yourselves a round of applause. You all really deserve to be in this. We can't wait to see what you create next.
The painting, it was all about my insecurities, and they come here, and now in my reality, I had to face it.
Well, Ava, you know the reason why you're leaving. Unfortunately, it's time for you to go and in your overalls.
Take care of it. Bye.
This has been another episode of The Outstanding Artist. I have a surprise for you. Once you get eliminated, your chance isn't over.
You can have one last hurrah at the end.
I feel like it might even be more pressure.
Like, what would I do in my art when I'm thinking of transformation?
It's a really true test to see how adaptable they could be.
I feel that I'm going to be like a speed painter when I get back. So I'm going to be painting so damn fast.
The sand addition, it'll just add textures. Don't be worried about this.
Reality is all these people will be voted out eventually until there's only 2 left.